Hello everybody, Chris from LogicCloud IT here. So I want to make a quick video on one of the many common questions I get to the help desk, and this is about opening a PST file in Microsoft Outlook. So a lot of times I get this from a lawyer or something like that. They get an e-discovery and they basically have a big zip file with a bunch of PSTs in it, and they're trying to open it up. But this works if for any PST. It doesn't have to be, a lawyer PST discovery or anything like that. So you've got an Outlook.pst file and you have Microsoft Outlook and you're trying to open it. So let's walk through a few of those steps. So I'm going to go ahead and open up. I've got a little folder here. So I've got my little training folder here. So I create a little zip file called training export. However it is that you get the file, whether it's via Dropbox, Google Drive, OneDrive, whatever it might be, the first step is you're going to want to actually download that zip file to your computer. If you happen to get a straight PST file, you can pretty much skip all the way to the end, but majority of the time you're going to get it as a zip file. So the first thing you want to do, download it to your actual computer, navigate to where that's at, and here I have it in my downloads folder in a folder called 001 train. So here's my training export zip. So this will be that file that you got sent to you. All you're going to do in Windows is right click on that file and you're going to do extract all. And you're going to get a little screen like this. And you can pretty much just leave the defaults and do the show extracted files when complete. Hit extract, and what it'll do is it'll go ahead, extract those files, and then it'll extract them to a new folder with the same name. Here's training export. So to kind of back up here and close this, notice I have that new file now. And then inside of there, it's another file with the same name. And now here's the fun part. Depending on how you've gotten these files, if it's an actual e-discovery, you will probably have zip files inside of the zip files, and then inside of those zip files, you'll actually end up with this final PST Outlook data file you're trying to get to. So you can open zip inside of Outlook, but I don't recommend it, especially for larger files, because your computer is basically live unzipping that as you go. So I recommend completely decompressing everything until you get to that, we'll just call it the raw PST file, if you will. Now, if you've got 100 of these, yes, that means you have to right click again, go to extract all. You're going to get that same message. You're going to do extract. It'll go through. And then you're finally going to get to that PST file. So again, to kind of back up, we just did this test user 1 extract. So you can see we've got the extracted folder here because it says file folder, not compressed. And then inside here, we've got another one of those folders. And then finally, our PST file. So this is the file we're going to open. Now, if you do happen to have a whole bunch of these, say you've got 20, 30, 50, 100 or more of these zip files inside of here, there is a way to programmatically extract them. I'm going to put together a quick video. When I do, I will try and put the link in this video and at the bottom in the description so that you can click to it and see how to extract all of these in one shot without having to go individually one by one. But I'm not going to cover that in this video. So if you do, go ahead, pause this guy, go out, grab that video, and then come back to this guy. So we've got our export here. This is the PST file that we're going to want to open. This is where a lot of people get stuck, is they just go and they go ahead and double click the PST file, and they basically get an error that says Outlook data files must be opened from within Outlook. And they're like, what the heck? I'm trying to open this Outlook data file. Like, I have Outlook. It's not working. Like, it shows Outlook. So they might try doing like an open with or send to. So stop right there. And what you're going to actually want to do, let me drag my Outlook here. So you're going to want to open up your Outlook. You're going to want to go to the File menu. You're going to want to go to Open and Export. And you're going to want to do Open Outlook Data File. When you click that, you'll get your menu here for selecting, and you're going to want to navigate now to exactly where you extracted those files. So in my case, I was download 01 train. Here's that training export again. Here's our test user that we extracted, and then the folder inside of it. And finally, here's our PST file that we actually want to open. So you can go ahead and click to select it and click OK, or you can also double click right on it. And depending on how your Outlook looks, it's going to probably appear like it didn't do anything. And again, this is another stopping point that people kind of get freaked out by. Mine flipped to a more compressed and touch mode. If you get this, you just want to click this little arrow to expand your folder pane again. And basically what you're going to want to do is on this left side here is all the mailboxes you have. I'm going to have them a little grayed out, but I've got quite a few mailboxes in here. So if you either click this little arrow here to collapse your mailbox, or you can just simply scroll down. And if you scroll down in here, you will eventually come across the mailbox or the data file, excuse me, that you mounted. Depending on, again, where you got this from in that, this might just say Outlook data file, this might just say personal folders, something like that, or it might actually have the person's email address. That is all dependent on how it was exported and where it was exported from. But what you're going to do is look for basically that new file that wasn't in there before, click the little arrow to expand it, and now you can actually look inside of that file. And you can see, just for testing purposes, I'm going to pin this here so it doesn't, so it doesn't keep collapsing on us. But now I can go ahead and look through this Outlook data file. I've got stuff in here. I've got, let's see, nothing in deleted items. It's probably just everything in inbox. Yeah, because I just did a test extract here. So there you go. Now you can look through and go ahead and do whatever you want with these emails. If you need to print them, save them to PDF, you can operate just like you normally would inside of Outlook. Here's one caveat. When you're done with this file, you're going to want to close it so that you don't cause yourself a headache later. What can happen is you can forget to close it. You can close your Outlook. It'll keep opening and closing just fine. It'll just mount this every single time. But what's going to happen is you're going to actually end up moving that file or deleting it or something, and then your Outlook's going to start giving you all kinds of messages when it tries to open, and it's going to be a pain. So to save yourself, and just to save your Outlook itself too, I don't recommend having too many PST files open. Go ahead when you're done, close it. So to close it, it's not just collapsing it like this, although that does help. What you actually want to do is right click on the name at the very top here, and you'll get a little menu, and you'll see in this case it says close Outlook data file. It'll be close and whatever this name is here. So go ahead and you want to do close Outlook data file. That will demount it, if you will, out of your Outlook and put you back, and now it's no longer there. Now, Outlook is a little funny. So you can keep going. You can open a new one at this point, go and do your thing, all of that. Once they're all closed and all of that, before you do anything with those base files, so these in here, before you move them or anything like that, sometimes it can stick. And it's closed in Outlook, but it's not fully closed in Outlook. It's gotten better with updates as they've gone, but if you have an older version, it's especially notorious for that. So before you go moving anything, I suggest literally just close your Outlook, make sure all your Outlook windows are closed, wait about 30 seconds or so just to make sure it all closes out in the background, and then now you can go ahead and start moving these things around. And there you have it. That is how you open a PST file inside of Microsoft Outlook.